Okay, we're in lesson 14 now. This is solving equations by inspection. Okay, first there are some terms we need to know. A variable is a letter that represents a number. Okay, a letter that represents a number. So if I put a plus 7, okay, a can represent any number. And a lot of times we'll be trying to figure out what that number is. Okay, but this is the variable. Then we know what a constant is. A constant is just a number in an equation. Okay, so a constant would be, let's say we made this an equation here. Okay, my variable is the a, that's representing some number that I don't know. Okay, my constants are 7 and 13. They're just the numbers in the equation. Okay, and the last thing we need to know is evaluate. Evaluate means to find the answer. Okay, tell me what the answer is. Okay, so sometimes you'll also have an equation that looks like this. Something like this, 5a plus 5 equals 15. So again, let's use our words. Find the variable. Okay, the variable is the a, it's the letter. The constants are any of the numbers. So here's a constant, and here's a constant. Now if we want to evaluate this equation, we would want to find the answer. Okay, let's do some examples. Okay, objective 1 is to evaluate an equation. Now we got steps. The first step is to rewrite the equation. Okay, so I want you to write down whatever equation they give you exactly as it looks when they give it to you. Step 2 is to substitute given numbers in for variables. So remember, variables are letters like x, you'll see a lot. Okay, sometimes it might tell you x equals 2. So if they tell you what the letters are equal to, you need to sub in that number for it and show me the substitution. Okay, and then step 3 is to solve for the variable. Alright, so if we want to evaluate the equation, here's an example. A formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is P equals 2L plus 2W. That means 2 times L plus 2 times W. Okay, so the perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Then it says to find P when L is 15 centimeters and W is 12 centimeters. Okay, well, let's move this up a little bit here. So, underline what we know. Okay, we know the formula is this right here. Okay, we know that L is 15 and we know W is 12. And what we want to know is we're trying to find out what P is. Okay, so step 1, rewrite the equation. P equals 2L plus 2W. Alright, well they're telling us L is 15, okay, and W is 12, but they don't tell us what P is. Okay, that's what we're trying to find out. 2L means 2 times L, so I want to plug in L. They told me that was 15. Okay, now sometimes it might help us to write these a little, or somewhere where we can see them together a little bit easier. So my L is 15, so instead of 2L, I'm going to put 2 times 15 plus 2W is 2 times my W, which is 12. Okay, so step 1, I rewrote the equation. Step 2, I substituted the numbers that they gave me in. They said L was 15 and W was 12. Now step 3 is to solve it. I'm going to evaluate. Okay, I'm going to use the order of operations. Well, order of operations says I have to multiply first. So I'm going to take these and multiply them together. 2 times 15 is 30. Okay, I can't add until I'm done multiplying. I've got another multiplication problem. 2 times 12 is 24. Now that I've got all my multiplying done, now I can add those up, and 30 plus 24 is 54. Now we got to make sure we answer the question. Okay, it says find P. Well, we got P equals 54, but we had labels up here, centimeters, so I need to make sure I put centimeters. So the perimeter of that rectangle is 54 centimeters. Okay, so again, rewrite the equation first, then plug in the numbers you're given, and then just solve for the letter. Okay, let's do one more example. Okay, objective 2 is to solve an equation by inspection. By inspection just means using mental math. Okay, so steps. Step 1, rewrite the equation. That's the same as last time. Step 2, replace the variable with the words what number. Okay, so when we say the variable, we're going to say what number, because we're trying to figure out what number goes there in place of the letter. Step 3 is to use mental math to solve for that number. And then step 4 is to answer the question. So if you need to pause it to get these steps written down, do that. Otherwise, I'm going right into the example. So here's example 2. If a taxi company charges a $2 flat fee plus $3 per mile, they're telling us our miles are represented by the letter M. Then the cost, they're telling us the cost is represented by the letter C. And dollars of a taxi ride is shown by this formula. Okay, this means $3 times how many miles you drive plus the $2 you have to pay to get into the cab equals how much you pay, equals the cost. Suppose that the cost of the ride is $20. So this C right here, the cost, they're telling us is 20. So that's where they got this from right here. They're telling us C equals 20. We want to find the length of the taxi ride by solving this equation. Okay, the length of the taxi ride is M. That's how many miles we drive. Okay, so we're trying to figure out what M is in this equation, how many miles we'd have to drive. So first step is to rewrite the equation. Now to do step 2, we have to understand what this means. Okay, this means 3 times M. Okay, 3 times M. So I'm going to replace the letter M with what number? So first I got to put 3 times what number plus 2 equals 20. So I'm asking, okay, what number, if I multiply it by 3 and then add 2, will give me 20? Well, the first thing I want to figure out is 3 times what number? What's that got to be? Okay? So I want to figure this out. 3 times what number has to be what? Okay? Well, 3 times a number plus 2 equals 20. So first thing I want to know is what number plus 2 even gives me 20? Well, 18 plus 2 is 20. So this 18 is 3 times our number. Okay, 3 times our number has to be 18 because 18 plus 2 gives me 20. So now I want to know this. 3 times what number gives me 18? Well, 3 times 6 gives me 18. So my what number, my M, is equal to 6. Okay? I was trying to figure out what number, what M, that's equal to 6 because 3 times 6 is 18 plus 2 is 20. Now I have to answer the question. Okay? The question's asking me the length of the taxi ride. Well, it told me the length was in miles, so I need to make sure I put 6 miles. Okay? And that's your last example for the day, so happy homeworking.